everyone, and today we'll be taking a look at the 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300. Now, this is basically just going to be a review, kind of just basically showing you all around the car, doing a little drive, giving my impressions on it, and yeah. So to start off, this is a fully optioned 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300. So obviously it's a 4MATIC, which means it's four-wheel drive. It's also got the AMG line package, which gives you these lovely 20-inch AMG wheels, as well as some nice AMG touches, which go into the interior, including the AMG floor mats and all of that. And you've also got the night pack on this car, which gives you the black trim around the windows, black mirror caps, and just black accents around the car as well. Now, this car, it's pretty good value for money. You definitely get what you pay for. Powering this car is a 2-litre 4-cylinder, which I'll give you a look at now. It produces something like 200 kilowatts, which it's more than adequate in a family SUV. There it is. Wow, impressive. Looking around the rest of the car, obviously we've got this gorgeous grille here. I really love the front end of this car. So yeah, this is kind of like the facelift of the original GLC, and it looks a lot better than the pre-facelift. You've got these awesome LED lights here, the multi-beam LEDs, which it's very, very impressive how the technology works. So you can basically, it allows you to basically have the high beams on at all times, because it'll basically dodge around oncoming traffic while you still have the high beams on. So you don't blind oncoming traffic, but you can still have the high beams on, which is pretty cool and very, very impressive. Front, you've got these slotted rotors, which is very, very nice. A lot of stopping power, very, very great for any form of driving. Rear of the car looks like this. Again, actually the rear isn't as drastically changed as the front. Basically all that's been changed are the lights from the pre-facelift, but other than that it basically remains the same. Other than that, it's just very Mercedes. There's nothing too special about it. It's elegant, and it's very, very good at just blending in. So if you want to take a look at the interior, obviously keyless entry, all 4 doors you can unlock it via. You got the illuminated Mercedes-Benz logo, and when you hop in, this is where it starts to actually get impressive. So up front you've got this fully digital display, very impressive, and you've also got these profiles which are linked to Mercedes Me, which is obviously an app you can download. So here's my profile here, and I mean, if you turn the ignition on, that's where you can start to play around with some of the features. It's got this nice little animation, which is pretty cool. I'll just shut the door quickly. So in here is this basically it's a very, very responsive display. Probably the most responsive I've ever really felt in a car, and it's very impressive. You can change a lot of features. So obviously you've got your navigation, radio, media, and then the ambient lighting settings are pretty cool. So at the moment they're just blue. It's got voice commands as well, so you can just change it through the voice commands, as well as many other features. But yeah, you can have multicolor as well. You can go pretty crazy with the ambient lighting in this car, which is pretty cool. You get this cool info here. This is the setting I always like to have it on, because it's the most impressive, I reckon. It shows all of the engine stats, which is pretty fun. Obviously up here you can control this display through here. These little capacitive buttons here, where you can bring up navigation info, trip info, just basically anything, service info, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I always just have it on media. The infotainment system in this car is very extensive, and I could go on about it for hours, because there's so many features you can play around with, and it's all really, really well done as well, because obviously it being a Mercedes, it's going to be done well. So other things down here, obviously you've got your dynamic select, so you can car into individual, Sport Plus, Sport, Comfort or Eco. Obviously, for the purpose of this review, put it in Sport Plus. You got your parking sensors off button there, you got the manual button if you want to use the paddle shifters, which are really, really nice. You've got the auto start stop, got your volume controls, your power for the button here, or the system. You got your 360 or your parking cameras here, so you can obviously utilize the 360 camera, which is really, really impressive. It's very sharp, very high quality. You've got this extended rear here. There's many, many camera options. So parking this car is super easy. It's never a problem. And then you've got your traction control button here as well. You've also got this little storage bin here with wireless charging pad and USB-C port. In here you've got more storage, just including some random stuff there. This car's also optioned with the Burmester sound system, which is a very, very high quality sound system. Very, very good. My only complaint is that there's not really enough bass, in my opinion, but that's okay. It's still a really, really nice audio system, and I like it a lot. You've got your heated seat controls here. You got your seating controls here. You got your 3 different memory seat settings. The steering wheel, it's really nice. It feels really nice in the hand. It's perforated leather and just regular leather, which this wheel is part of the AMG package that you can option on this car. Obviously your gear selector is here. You control everything else through this here, which is very, very nice. You can also change this, like what you want displayed here. So you can have a little G-force meter there, your fuel consumption, eco displays, your navigation. I always just keep it on that, because why not? So it's a very, very impressive car. You get a lot of features for your money. You also obviously got the panoramic sunroof here, which is both front and rear. The passenger seat isn't much different. Obviously you got your little glove box there, and yeah, that's honestly about it. There's not much else to it really. It's just very good at what it does. It's a very, very, honestly, because we had an Audi Q5 before this, and the GLC is just, it's so much better. It's really worth what you pay for it, and it's just overall a really, really impressive car. So what I'm going to do now is just take it for a little drive and give you my little driving impressions on it. But first we'll get a little bit of a start up and a couple of revs. You won't be able to hear much because obviously OPF filter and everything, Euro sound regulations and that, but I mean, you got to hear it. In the GLC, and what you've experienced right now is a downgrade in camera quality, because basically I have to use a different setup in order to record it while I'm driving. So yeah, so you're going to be experiencing some lovely 30 frames per second footage at the moment, but that is okay because basically we're gonna drive this car. We're gonna obviously get a bit of a feel for it. So I'm at McCar's Creek, which is a very, very good testing road for any vehicle, and we'll just start things off pretty gently. I've just got the car in, I'll put it in eco mode even. It's obviously there's not very much noise in the interior. The cabin is very quiet, and that's exactly what you want in a car like this. Just refined luxury. Yeah, so the car has also, it's got a heads-up display, which I'll show you obviously next time I stop. But yeah, that's also really nice, and it spices up the interior a lot more, and it just makes it a lot more, because you don't have to take your eyes off the road. You can just literally see the speed that you're traveling at on the heads-up display, which is a very, very nice feature, and obviously a feature which most brands are implementing today. Obviously in the interior you've got all this ambient lighting everywhere, which really brings the cabin alive at night. It feels really, really nice at night. It's just very obvious. I love mood lighting. Personally, I'm quite a fan of any ambient lighting in the interior, so that's quite a nice little addition that Mercedes have done with the facelift. Actually, I'm pretty sure the pre-facelift also had ambient lighting, but you can only choose for like 3 colours. This basically you can choose from about 36, and obviously all the multi-pattern options as well. So it also got, yeah, like I mentioned, it's got the voice command, so you can literally be like, look, obviously the ambient lighting's blue at the moment, but you can be like, hey Mercedes,
how may I help you?
Change the ambient lighting to red.
Okay, I'm changing the colour.
And it'll just change the colour for you, which is really, really nice. Quite like it, the MBUX system. It's very, very, well, it's just lovely. It's a great system. Honestly, the car feels so smooth. It's running obviously 20-inch AMG wheels, but the ride quality is not really affected by that. It really feels very, very smooth in here. It's very, very luxurious. Just very smooth. It's a very smooth drive, and the gearbox is smooth as well. You can barely tell that it's changed gears. It's actually a 9-speed gearbox, mainly to save obviously fuel when you're doing long distance motorway journeys. It's not really for obviously the everyday environment. You're not going to be using 9 gears, you know. So it's just nice because it means you're obviously going to be using less fuel when you go away. There's obviously a lot of boot space in this car as well for storing things. A lot of rear legroom as well, which is nice. Obviously it's a family car, so you're having people in the back, of course. And obviously there's plenty of legroom for that. So we're approaching a more dynamic section of the road here, so I'll just put it into Sport Plus. Obviously just give it a little bit. It's my parents' car, so I don't want to thrash it. But yeah, you can obviously use the paddles, drop it down a gear. Yeah, like it's a quick car. It's very quick. 0 to 100 is possible in 6.5 seconds, which is 0.2 seconds faster than my Polo GDI. In other words, that's very quick. Very, very quick, especially when the power is sent to all 4 wheels. It truly feels very, very quick, and it sticks to the road really well. So you're not going to be sliding out anytime soon in this car because it's very planted to the road, and there's it does not want to kick out. It's very planted. Like if I throw it into a little corner here, it'll just, it's very planted, and it just sticks to the road very well. And this is basic. This isn't even an AMG. This is just the regular GLC 300, and in terms of performance, it really it leaves nothing to be desired. Truly, this car covers basically. It's such a perfect daily, and it explains why they're so popular. I think the GLC is Mercedes' best-selling SUV. I think it's just because it covers the needs of basically most people, and it's really good. So I'm gonna just put the car back in eco mode to save a bit of fuel. But yeah, so this car, it's very, very impressive, and I would highly, highly recommend one. I'm trying to think of what else I can show you. I mean, it's simplistic yet sophisticated, if you know what I mean. The tech in this car, I don't know, Mercedes they do crazy things with their tech. They're so far ahead of BMW and Audi with their technology. I wouldn't even touch a BMW after being in this car, truly. The X3, it's got nothing on the GLC. The GLC is definitely the better option out of its competitors. And I would definitely recommend one. I have literally no flaws to say about, I can't complain about this car. It's got all the safety features as well, so it's got radar, adaptive cruise control as well. That's nice. But yeah, it's got all these blind spot assists. They'll go off at you if you're getting too close to a car, or a car's getting too close to you, which is obviously, it's relieving if you're stressed about that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. It's a lovely car. It's a very luxury car, and I really enjoy driving it. But yeah, I think that just about wraps up the review. I hope you enjoyed, and I will be back soon with more reviews. Just let me know which car you want me to review, and I'll try my best to get my hands on it. Yeah, See you later.